It all began as a choir for recent high school graduates looking for a place to sing, all the way back in 2000. Fast forward 25 years, and that choir has grown into 3 choirs, and a beloved Winnipeg musical institution where singers can share their gifts through a variety of genres. Prairie Voices, along with its sister choirs Horizon and Bluestem, will be celebrating their 25th anniversary this weekend with a concert aptly titled In the Family. Johanna Hildebrand is the artistic director of Horizon and joins us this morning. Hello, Johanna.
Hello, good morning. It's so nice to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thanks so much for being here. First of all, maybe we can go all the way back to when you first got involved in Prairie Voices and in the extended sort of family of these choirs.
Yeah, I along with Aaron Lepke, he was my assistant director way back in 2015. So this is my 9th season with them, and I'm actually the longest standing conductor of all of PVI choirs. So there's been a long list of beloved directors, and I'm so pleased to be one of them.
Maybe we can go back to when you first joined in 2015. What was that experience like for you as you were getting your first impressions of this sort of still relatively new entity at that time? Because I think Horizon had only been around for a couple of years at that point.
Yeah, that's right. You know, it was really exciting to be able to sort of dive into really more advanced, complicated music. It was exciting to have access to composers that I hadn't had access to before with this sort of top-rate choir that can perform these pieces. Like, for example, on Saturday, we are doing a work by Caroline Shaw, which is, I think at some point, 30 different voice parts. And it's almost like everyone has their own voice part. And it's just really exciting to program, I would say, complicated music. It's a treat.
And be able to keep up, have singers that are able to take on that challenge with aplomb. Another huge part of PVI choirs, in addition to the degree of difficulty in their performances, is the culture that surrounds these groups. For those who maybe aren't familiar, what is it like to be a part of Horizon from a personal perspective? Because these are having a little bit of experience myself. Like, these choirs are something like family.
Yeah, that's very true. We are very much like family, and you know, we not only rehearse together, we rehearse outside of just the regular rehearsal times, and sort of the music dictates how much time we get to spend together, how much time we have to spend together, and indeed want to. And for example, last summer we were asked to commission a big piece in Spain, and so as the family, we got on the plane and we went to Spain to sing a commission piece, and it just felt like a big family trip.
Everybody just piled onto the bus performing, instead of, just like simple family songs that you might sing in the car, you're just doing incredibly complicated choral works. So there's that's the distinction. What, maybe from your view as somebody who has a view of the Winnipeg sort of choral scene more broadly as well, what's special to you about the role that PVI choirs play in Winnipeg's musical ecosystem?
Yeah, I think that if one joins our PVI choirs, and I'll name them. So Bluestem is conducted by Rob Monson, Prairie Voices is conducted by Katie Donnelly, and Horizon is conducted by me, Johanna Hildebrand. And I think that what you'll feel is we do a lot of Canadian composers, we do a lot of people of color compositions, we program queer composers, and I think that if you join our choirs, you're really looking forward to singing pieces that you might not have access to in other choirs. And that's special about PVI.
Some of those pieces I'm sure you've touched on will be a part of the celebrations at In the Family this weekend. Maybe let's get down to a little bit more brass tacks without giving too much away, because we want people to come and experience this, obviously. What can people expect to hear on Saturday night?
Well, we will have our three choirs performing. We also commissioned a piece by Ben Selleck. He is now a New Yorker, a previous Winnipegger. So he wrote a piece for us called Prairie Anthem. And it is about us singing together no matter what is happening in the world. And so we're going to premiere that piece. And something very special is that we have 70 alumni signed up for our alumni choir. And so we have some of the past directors coming to conduct those pieces. So we have Elroy Friesen, who of course started Prairie Voices all those years ago, 25 years ago. So Elroy Friesen is coming, Crystal Peters, Vic Pankratz, Gyung Lee, and Philip Lapatha will all be conducting the alumni choir, and that's very, very exciting. And we've been rehearsing, and it's going to be a bombastic sound.
As we contemplate the previous 25 years of PVI and the choirs that label contains, there's probably also an idea that there will be continued growth in PVI and in your case with Horizon. What sorts of things are you all contemplating in the years to come as your choirs continue to have this role of choral excellence in the city?
Well, we always have our eye on exciting new works by exciting new composers. And so in the future, we're hoping to expand sort of into even like the contemporary realm of music. And I mean, if you're asking if we're going to start a fourth choir, I'm not sure. We sometimes joke that we might start a baby choir, which is it's not maybe in the cards for at current. But yeah, so we're always looking forward to those new exciting contemporary ways of making music.
You mentioned off the top of the interview that you are currently the longest tenured conductor in the PVI history. So it stands to reason that you and I will speak again at the 50th anniversary coming up in 25 years. When we do have that conversation, what role do you think Horizon, Prairie Voices, and Bluestem, and whatever other choir comes out of the creative force behind your groups, what role do you think PVI will play in Winnipeg's musical ecosystem over the next 25 years?
Well, I think that the neat thing about PVI, and I'm going to reflect on my own experience, and then I'm going to answer the question.
Yeah, sure.
In the last 9 years of searching for music, I have noticed that as well as all conductors, have a lot more access to composers from all around the world. It's not just sort of all Western European composers anymore. So music is changing, access to information is changing. I really think that in 25 years, I mean, I of course don't know, but I hope that we can continue to program composers that have a really interesting worldview and a really important worldview. And that's part of our mandate and our duty to educate people who listen. And so I'm hoping that we can go even farther in that realm.
What impact do you think being the artistic director of Horizon has had on you, maybe first as a musician, but also as a person?
Well, I think that, I mean, I'm in no stretch of the imagination an athlete by any by any means, but I do feel that after rehearsals and performances, it's so cool to use your brain and your body, and something happens. There's such a release of I don't even know. It's just a release of sort of information that it's pretty euphoric. And so when I conduct and especially at concerts, it's really neat to experience that euphoria, and specifically to sort of be like the conduit between the choir and the audience, and you're sort of that helping that information get to the audience. And I think it's a really, really special place to be. And I feel really grateful that this organization and this choir put so much of their trust in me to help communicate to the audience, and it's just very special.
The Crescent Arts Center will be a very special place to be this coming Saturday from 7:30, Crescent Arts Center. More information will be at our website, classic107.com, and on the Classic 107 app. Johanna Hildebrand, the artistic director for Horizon, thank you so much for joining us here on Classic 107 to tell us more about In the Family.
Thank you so much for having me.